Hi. Um, in this video, I want to talk about inner peace, which is something that a lot of people are having a hard time finding because of all the disruption and everything else. And there's so many people out there opposing each other. And so it's really difficult to not react or to react with kindness and compassion. Where do I begin to teach you about that? I can't necessarily teach you to find inner peace. I can't teach you to change any aspects of yourself. That's actually up to you to do that. I can only tell you how I do that. And maybe through how I do it, you might be able to learn how to do that yourself. So, one thing that I do is I remember that one, I don't know everything. And I can't teach everything. I can't change people. I can't change the world. I can't change a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we can't change our bills. I mean, we have to pay rent. We have to pay all these other bills so that we have what we need. And we can't change the fact that they're due. There's a lot of things in our lives that we have no control of. And so how do we find that inner peace? I mean, Gandhi's talked about it. Almost every faith on the planet has talked about finding that inner peace and being able to reflect inside of ourselves to calm that. And some do meditation, some do other things. I've talked about my heaven before I go to my heaven. I meet with God, I talk with Christ, and I try to lay that into his hands, and that helps me to find inner peace, but not when I'm sitting down paying my bills and there's no money coming in. That makes it very difficult for anybody to find that inner peace. And it's really hard when you're on Facebook or other social media to not react when someone is just giving you a negative comment. It's hard to not just flip our phones up, and we're in a very reactionary society right now. I try to take a deep breath. I put down my phone. I leave the message. I try to step away from it for a bit, which is really difficult. I mean, there's times that I get 22 text messages about things, and it's just very disruptive. So I have to turn my phone off. But then again, I don't want to because I have prayer requests coming in and people who actually need me. So the other things that are disrupting me, it's really hard to shut them off because I've got other things coming in. I do compartmentalize. I tend to take one hat off and put it on very easily. But there's days that it's just going so fast that it's just really difficult to do. So the first thing I do is I remember I'm one person. I try to humble myself so that my heart realizes that I can't fix everything and I can't change some things. So I create a humbleness in myself, and that actually helps me with my approach with other people. We're not always going to agree. Opposing sides are going to happen, but that's okay. I always taught my kids, if you're going to be opinionated, you need to be open-minded, because you never know if you're talking about the same thing if you're not listening to the other people, and you never know if some of their opinion might enhance what you already know. It gives you an understanding of the other person, and that's where I find my humbleness. Even when I pray, when I get overwhelmed, I tend to stop and say, Lord, I need your help right now. I'm having a real issue letting things go. I'm having a real issue dealing with all of this at once. I know you have a plan, but my brain wants to resolve it. I tend to turn to God a lot. And then I find that in my responses to people, I'm more kind. I'm more compassionate. And I try to find ways to diffuse the situation. It makes me more diplomatic. So I start with humbleness, and what that brings me is kindness and compassion and empathy and all of those positive things. I don't know if you've noticed, I don't know what your activity is online. I've noticed if I don't respond right away, if I think about my choice of words, if I try to put myself in their shoes, if I try to see it from their side, then there's always a way to find a diplomatic way to approach someone with a heart. And it normally diffuses the situation. There's some people you just can't diffuse. I actually told someone yesterday, there's always going to be one, but thanks for playing. Um, you can't change people's minds. So if you've tried to diffuse the situation, then that's about all you can do. If you've tried to be nice about it, if you've tried to reach out and give them some way to stop this anger and they won't, then that's them and it's not you. So, back to inner peace. We just need to realize that we can't change some people. We can't change some situations. And we have to kind of ride out the storm. But if you look at it as in the middle of the storm, there's always a miracle. If you continue to look for that miracle may just be that you've found an inner peace that helps you to deal with these things. And you'll realize that you can survive, you will get past it, and that people outside of you are not necessarily going to affect your life. There's bills that can't be paid and things like that. It will come. If you continue to believe, if you continue to find that inner peace, you'll see, you made it through last month or the month before. You'll make it through this. You made it through getting to where you are, where you can pay your bills. And even if you've lost your job because of COVID, or your pay is less because of COVID or things like that, just realize you've survived this before and gotten back on top, and you will get there again. We can't change what the world is doing to us. We can only change what's inside of us. And continuing to believe and knowing that you're going to survive, you'll see that it tends to get a little easier over time, because you'll see that it continues to happen. You've survived, you're still alive, you're breathing. Find those positive things in your life and focus on them. And don't try to change other people. We all have our own opinions. We all have our own needs in our own lives. And coming up on this election, we're all going to vote what's best for our lives. And I don't need anybody to vote my way. I don't need anybody to vote the other way. That their vote isn't necessarily going to matter to me. I'm going to vote what's best for me. So getting in an argument over position on politics or religion, it's not worth it. We can't argue those things down. There's people that we can't change their mind. If they're taking that positive direction you're trying to give them, or that opening to repair any hate or anger or disagreement, then just step away. I know that it's hard to let go, but just step away. Find your inner peace and realize that you're doing what's best for your life. So that's what I pray for you this week. That somehow you find your way through this muddled video. You realize that you can find your own inner peace, and that something may inspire you in this video to get there. That you're able to realize that we can't change some things in the world, and that's okay. We can let it go, and we're still going to survive. We're still going to breathe. In Jesus' name, I pray that you find all that this week. And as always, believe and make it so.